Warning, this show contains adult language, so viewer and listener discretion is advised. Welcome to another edition of Up and In It. I'm your host, Adrian Babashoff, and if you're new here, welcome as well. And if you're wondering what this show is about, it's entirely dedicated to improving quality of life for both people and planet through liberation and independence, moving you from surviving to thriving and living life raw. And today's episode 177, Home Organization Tips for Maximum Production. Why would I choose such a topic for today? It's because we've got a lot of people worried about the recession, and I've been saying this over and over again. I don't want to seem like a salesy guy trying to dip into this whole thing to get more listens or views, but I guess that's what a lot of you are interested in, and I want to come up with some solutions for it. And I do think that we have to start getting prepared for having to pivot and having to do a lot of work, having to change our lives around. And what we need to do is we need to run our life like a business. And today I want to talk about organization tips in the home, some things that I do and things that maybe you should do. I don't know what situation you're in, but hopefully you learn from the philosophy that I want to share today, and you start incorporating in your life so that you have more time, less stress, and you can start figuring out what to do in the crazy world that we live in. So the very big ones I wanted to start off with is the big ones are cooking, cleaning, and maintenance. So when we come home, I don't know about you guys, but for me, I do a full-blown work week. I try to take my Saturdays as my one day off. I try to do like a barbecue with my kids and just kind of hang out and stuff like that. And then Sunday's like the big day. Sunday's the big day where we're cleaning toilets, laundry, cooking, meal prep and all these kind of things. So I think that we need to see on the macro, you need to pull out away from your home and just kind of look at it, and you need to figure out where's all my time going and try to delegate things that we can do to make these things easier. So the first one I got is cooking, and I just bought myself one of those air fryer pressure cookers. Not too happy with it. The cleaning could be, depending on what you're doing, could be a little more strenuous than say cooking something in an oven or a grill. But it is set and forget. That's kind of nice. It's automated. Anything that you guys can automate in your home, the better off you'll be. So one of the deals with these air fryer Instapot pressure cookers is that there's tons of like meal prep that you can do as far as like one pot meals. Like you can take spaghetti and meatballs and put marinara sauce, and you can put olives in, and all this is frozen, right? You put this all inside of either a container, or if you're really busy, a Ziploc bag. And I know we're trying to save the planet, but in order for us to really, in my opinion, to get out of here, I don't know why I'm trying to defend myself right now. In order for us to make a permanent change, sometimes we have to utilize the system against itself. Not meaning we want to beat up nature. I do not feel good about it. But it allows me time to make money and change things in my life permanently instead of just, for the moment, if that makes any sense. We try to give a lot of effort, and then we're like, and then we fall out of it, and we ended up using more plastics and causing more pollution than when we, anyways, I don't want to sit here and bang that one against the wall, but you get my drift. I've seen some people where they put like pineapple in there and sausage and even noodles. I guess you don't have to soak or boil noodles. You can just stick them in your Instapot or your I keep calling it Instapot, inside your pressure cooker, and it'll just cook everything. So basically, you can just take this bag, you can freeze it in a cylindrical sort of shape. And when you get home from work during the weekdays, you can just take this thing and dump it in there, frozen and all, put a cup of water, push play, and walk away, and you'll have a dinner ready within like 30, 40 minutes. So kind of cool. And then you can use the air fryer on top to kind of crisp certain things up. I just made myself a whole chicken, which I got on cheaper than, like breasts and legs and things like that. I bought an entire organic chicken, weighed about 3 to 4 pounds, and it's gonna make me 3 meals. We just ate some of the legs and wings and between me and my daughter last night. Today we're gonna use the breast for salad. There might even be some left over. I could even take those bones left over now, and I can boil those down for a chicken broth or a bone broth. And if you've got animals, you can actually feed them to your animals. So we're trying to stack functions here. So yeah, one pot meals, I think is definitely where it's at. My next note here is meal preps. So a lot of us are eating unhealthy. We're not being very good with the foods that we eat, not getting enough exercise and good diet. So one of the best things to do with meal preps is, as I was saying, when you're cooking dinners, especially on my chore day, let's say Sunday, right? I can actually fit a lot of my meal preps in here. So on Sunday, I'll cook maybe 2 things, and I'll do extra batches. Always cook extra, and then you can freeze it. Not all things freeze well. Such things as turkey and chicken, certain vegetables like zucchinis and stuff like that. You got to learn. I don't have time to go in all the details today, but what you want to do is beef, like burger and things like that, go very well. Asparagus, like I make one. I'll give you guys, for instance, I made corned beef and cabbage. It was for my birthday. I bought way more extra, way more than what I needed. You're expending the same amount of physical energy, and then the utility, same thing, electricity, to cook a small batch. Why not cook a big batch? Now I've got 4 quarts of corned beef cabbage in the freezer. I also have some burger and asparagus. They're chopped together. We're trying to go a little keto here, or a paleo, not so much carbohydrates, to lose some weight, be healthy. So we ate off that. When we get bored, I put the hamburger and the asparagus together in a Ziploc bag. We put that in the freezer and we mark and date it. Always mark and date everything. And a nice freezer bags. Make sure you get freezer bags if you're using them, not just regular old Ziplocs. But a lot of these have like a little label that you can get a permanent marker and write on. So another thing I do, another little tip here, is always write down what I have. Almost always. I get on my phone and I have a whole menu plan for the whole entire week. Well, all the things I have frozen, I just mentioned, I'll put that in my phone so that I know what I have and I don't forget. That's a big, big key right there. So yeah, always cook extra. Moving on, the next one is like breakfast smoothies. We all need to lose some weight, I think, and eat a little healthier, and we all want to save some money. And believe it or not, smoothies are really cheap, and I've said this one a lot, but that's pretty much what my breakfast or lunch. I do intermittent fasting so that I don't have to eat breakfast. That's how I maintain some of my weight. But my lunches have been plant-based protein powder smoothies for a very long time. I drink those, and trust me, when I get home, I am starving. But I use a couple things like hard-boiled eggs is a good one. And let me tell you guys, in the steamer, it's a 5-5-5, it's called. So you're going to steam regular eggs in the shells for 5 minutes. You're going to let this sit there and depressurize for about another 5 minutes. You're going to take those out of the steamer pot, the pressure cooker, and you're going to soak them in ice. Here's another hack that I have. I fill up a bunch of drinking plastic water bottles that I have laying around. I have an emergency water. Here I go trying to defend myself again. I just hate the use of plastic. I bought a bunch of plastic water bottles for emergency, like earthquake food preparedness, and they passed the expiration date. They're like 3 years old. So I took those, emptied them out, left about maybe 3 inches of air on the top, froze a bunch of those. Those keep my freezers running at tip-top maximum performance, because when a freezer's full, it doesn't get as fluctuate in the temperature. So if you could always keep your freezer full, it's a very good tip. But I take these and these water bottles, and I'll place them inside of a large, I almost said chashka, that's Russian for like a bowl, like a container. So fill up the water, fill about halfway with water, stick all your drinking water, frozen drinking water bottles on, and then for 5 minutes, let your eggs cool down. You can remove the bottles, rinse them off, stick them back in the freezer, but immediately start peeling your eggs, and most of the time, about 95% of those eggs will peel a heck of a lot easier. That's the best trick. For some reason, it's the pressure cooker. I usually live a lot, too, off of fresh squeezed juices, and I've got myself one of those centrifugal juicers. I also have a juicer that masquerades. Basically, it shreds it all up. It doesn't really whip it and get oxygen inside. It's supposed to be healthier that way, but it's a hell of a lot more work. But yeah, I get a bunch of vegetables and fruits. And what's nice is if something starts to turn, like tomatoes or something like that, your salads, just before you're sick of it, just throw it in the juicer, man. You can drink like an entire 5-gallon bucket full of vegetables and fruits. You can condense inside of a quart-sized jar just about, if you do it right, or if not more. So Veggie Dips is another one I make. I've been using some Greek yogurt recipes. They got all kinds of wonderful stuff that you can dip, like cucumbers and zucchini and celery, stuff like that. I keep some vegetables in my vehicle. I guess my life's a lot different than most people because I'm fully equipped in my truck. That's the background noise, by the way, too. but I'm fully equipped with a solar panel and a refrigerator in the back here. So yeah, it's not like everybody has a refrigerator being carried in the back of their vehicle, but you could get yourself a little ice chest or something like that, and it could change out the ice every day. Get a gallon of water. Again, take the water down about 3 inches from the top so it doesn't expand and break the plastic. Get yourself like three or four of these if you need it, depending on the size of your ice chest, and just swap them out every day. Just no matter what, it's like a big giant block of ice. You get yourself a good ice chest, and both the ice chest and the ice will last a lot longer. So that's the way you can take your food, put it in your car, get away from everything for a while. And trust me, when it's lunchtime for me, when I had people working for me and I worked with other people, by the time they left to go get their lunch, which costed them probably about 10 times more than my lunch, they lost about 20 minutes of their lunch break. Me, I'm working on my phone, hanging out. I already ate lunch within like 5-10 minutes, and I'm taking a little siesta, snooze, a little nap, before I have to go to work. So biggest one now, let's move away from food, is dishes and cleaning. I'm running out of timer, so we got to move on this here. Dishes and cleaning. What I like to say is clear the desk. I like to do this mainly in almost every aspect of my life, is keep the desk clear every single day. So once you do dishes, you got a spoon, fork, cup. I'd say eliminate a lot of your dishes that you have. I try to keep one cup for me, like a teacup. That's all really we got. We drink out of mason jars as well, like hobos, because we just feel comfortable that way. We feel like we're in our environment when we drink out of jars. It feels like we're in Tennessee, living in the bayou. But anyways, yeah, try to limit your dishes so that you have less to clean. I like to use those little spatulas, the silicone ones, the little like frosting scrapers, and you can scrape stuff off like salad dressings and any grease and stuff like that. Use a paper towel to get it off your bowl so it's a lot easier to clean. Another one is simple green soap that you can get it in spray bottles. It's completely biodegradable, natural, supposedly. Very excellent degreaser. So if you have stuff that's greased, like for making roasted vegetables with olive oil in a pan, or any kind of meats and everything's greasy, just spray that thing with some simple green, let it sit for a while, wipe it all out with a paper towel. This is also going to save your sink from clogging up. And then rinse it all out, then wash it with regular soap. So yeah, dishes, just try to simplify everything and wash as you go. If you just have a spoon, a plate, and make your kids or whoever's with you just wash every single day, then it doesn't add up. One pot meal, same thing, is you only have one pot to cook in. I mentioned it's kind of a pain in the ass, but that's if you start air frying like a whole chicken or something with all the grilled parts and all that kind of stuff. But keep the deck clean. That's I can't say that one enough. A steamer cleaner next is what I have. It basically is a machine contraption that shoots steam out of a pipe. It has a condensed container, so it builds up a whole bunch of steam in there. And what's cool about this is you can clean chandeliers. It shoots steam out, and it'll sanitize like your toilet, your shower, your sinks. You can shove the nozzle down into your sink and your P-trap down the drain. Shoot that thing full of steam in there. Not only will it unclog stuff, like kind of loosen stuff up, but it'll also disinfect everything, and it does it very rapidly. And it's little machines like this that makes a big difference. I do my trash can lid. I do have kids, and I know this is disgusting, but it's more disgusting for you to not think of things like this. Kids usually don't wipe their hands very well or wash their hands after they go to the bathroom. So they're grabbing the doorknobs, and it's scientifically proven that there's like fecal matter on doorknobs is very common. I think on the kitchen, on your bathroom sink too, on the knobs that turn on the water, you think about somebody poops, if they get some on their hand or something, they're going to reach over to wash their hands, and nobody ever thinks to clean these things. Get yourself a steamer cleaner. It shoots out a stream of steam, and just steam fucking everything, man. It just makes me feel a hell of a lot better, and it's so much faster than sitting there trying to wipe everything down with disinfectant sprays and stuff like that. Next, kitty litter, animal water. These things, I don't have a pet anymore, but I remember my pet took a lot of my time. The day I went and made myself a automatic water feeder for my dog helped me out tremendously. I'd always have to dump her bowl over in the morning before I went to work, scrub it all out because it gets slimy, and then refill it with water and all these things. If you can set it and forget it, a kitty litter box, they have some that has like 3 baskets, so you lift up one basket and a lot of the poop comes out. And all you got to do is throw the poop away, slide that on the bottom one. You keep rotating these things so you don't have to keep filling stuff up. Really awesome gadgets they have that I think is definitely worth an investment if it's going to help you to have time to think about stuff, right? So meal prep even for your animal. I used to make a whole bunch of chop up raw meats and stuff like that, and I put them in baggies and freeze them. And when I meal prep for us, I meal prep for my animal as well. So that's it, guys. I'm running out of time right here. We are making these shows a little bit shorter because we want to get you guys out 5 per week. Let me know how I'm doing for you guys. It's upandinitshow@gmail.com. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, middle finger. Let me know what you guys want to hear about. But I wanted to get this show out today because I know that a lot of us are going to go through some tough times. I mean, if this shit hits the fan the way they say it is, it could be rough. But you know what? Even when it's not rough, I've spoke about this before. What if you incorporated all these things that we talked about today, and that gave you a half a day? I'm going to say, in my experience, I've got an entire 8-hour workday free that frees me up from automating and practicing the things that I talked to you guys today about. And what's happening is we're like a shotgun. We're spreading ourselves out all over directions. We're getting, excuse me, we're getting very emotional. We're getting stressed out. We can't figure out why we can't get ahead. And all this extra other shit just starts piling on and fucking us up. And then we got to go home and do shit we don't want to do. And things start stacking up everywhere. And then we start getting frustrated, right? And you know whose fault it is? And I don't mean to beat you up, but it's yours and it's mine. It's because we're not organized. And few of us ever think of our home as a functioning business. So get on top of it, get yourself up and running, get a system going, run your life like a business so that you can survive this stuff. So that's the show, guys. upandinitshow@gmail.com. You guys can find Up and In It on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and anywhere else where they have the podcast. As I always say, guys, go out there and have yourself a near life experience. Don't lose your muchness. Carry on the fire. Human up. Live it, love it, own it, and bone it.